more films came out, stuff like really bad ones like Billy Jack and Last of the Mohicans and things that just portrayed people like stoic and no fun whatsoever.
I'm your cradle.
Well, congratulations on your latest role, The Dark Foe. So you kind of play a kind of a morbid character, I would say. Would you call it a morbid character? How would you define it?
I would call him a very protective character. I don't think he's morbid. He's just protecting his little world and trying to save a portion of it by any means that he can, and nothing will stand in his way, even matters of procedure, which he does not always follow, in protocol, which is sometimes wrong, but he'll do anything to get the job done.
Now, he's sort of reflecting the sins of the past, right? We don't want to give away too much, but I don't know if he thinks he's like rectifying the sins of the past, or he has a good motive for what he's doing.
Well, yes, he has a good motive for what he's doing. He's protecting his family. And as far as reflecting or using the past wrongs, there are issues there, but they're never really, that's not the real reason he's doing what he's doing.
It was you and all the white people. You're to blame.
In the movie The Dark Foe, things get a little gory with your character. Was it practical? So did you have to deal with a lot of fake blood?
Yeah, a lot of fake blood going on there. Most films, it's just you get covered in it. There's just fake blood. I did one show called Wounded, and myself and the director didn't get along too well because he wanted me to do specific movements, and I said, well, okay, I can do that, but it just doesn't advance the story any further. I'm glued to one spot. I haven't got the freedom to move around and tell a story. So I was supposed to get shot in the stomach, and he kept pouring blood down on my brand new Bruno Molly shoes. And he kept pouring blood all down my pants and stuff, and they only shot from here up. That was the only shot. I was covered in blood. Little things. And I kept rubbing up against him all the time. So his clothes were all covered in blood by the end of it. And well, yeah, we had there was a lot of stage blood going on in that.
I hear it's not fun. It's gooey and sticky and just overall yucky.
Yeah, it's not as bad as real blood. Real blood just goes all over the place. It doesn't. No matter what you touch, you look. There's more blood. But stage blood has some kind of cohesion that'll stay where you're supposed to put it. But once again, it just gets cold and tacky, and not very much fun to play on. Adds to your misery.
And speaking about your career, I'm talking about first-time directors. When you did Dances with Wolves, Kevin Costner was sort of this first-time director, right? And now he's done so much more, and he won Academy Awards for that. So, reminiscing, what do you remember about Kevin Costner directing his first feature back then?
He was nervous and under a lot of pressure to do a film. Jake Eberts, the late Jake Eberts, a good friend of mine, who's a producer on that. He said, "You can't make a film of the magnitude of this much money. It can't be done." And Kevin's like a pit bull. If he gets a hold of your pant leg, that's it. If you tell him you can't do anything, oh yeah, well, watch this. Hold my coffee and watch this. So, he got it done. A lot of people said, "Oh, Kevin Reynolds came in and saved his bacon and took over direct." Kevin Reynolds, I didn't even see Kevin Reynolds, so I don't know what he was doing there.
Speaking about your past films, we watched Thunderheart recently. You have such a great role in that. Your role is so much fun in that. What are some of your good memories from that movie?
Getting there and leaving. No, it's a lot. My agent said, "You want to do a film about a police officer and loosely based on the incidents at Oglala?" And I said, "Well, I don't know anything about that. I'm an actor. I just tell stories. The history is left for the historians. But I will listen to them because I don't want to make the same mistakes that history has already set in flow." But my agent at that time, my new agent in Los Angeles, said, "Well, it's in South Dakota." And I went, "Oh, South Dakota. Okay, do I have to ride anything with legs? And do I have to dress up funny? And do I have to learn another language?" She said, "No, you just ride a motorcycle and play I'm in."
It was a cool character.
Yeah, so the director came to, where was I? Oh, in Ottawa, in Canada, doing some theater up there, and I met him there, and we decided that I'd do the film. And it was a lot of fun. It turned out to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Working with,
Val Kilmer. Yeah, how was it working with Val Kilmer? He's got a documentary coming up about his career and the struggles he's had.
Yeah, he's had a rough life. He's had a rough life. We talked a lot. So in his dilemma in the film career, he doesn't talk much about that, but we talked a lot about his early life and things that he had to go through. And if you look at him and watch him talk, you can't tell if he's making this up or not. Or whatever. But Ollie Stone really made a mess of him doing the Doors movie, because it really played with his head, psychologically.
Oh wow!
But he was fun. He went to the armors, the guys in charge of guns, and he was carrying a 32 holster weapon around with him all the time, even offset. Then he went into one of the cities around there, and I said, "I don't think you want to wear that when you're going in." And he said, "Well, it's the West. It's South Dakota." And I went, "Oh yeah, forgot. Yeah, I should probably get away with it."
And as you mentioned, you've been in this for 40 years. So how do you think the portrayals of Native Americans has progressed, or has it progressed? What's your view on that?
It's changed when I got there and did wolves and showed them. We dealt with family life, what a family looked like. And the tremendous script written by Michael just wrote a tremendous script. And learning the language and the history, I used a lot of that as part of the film. And as time went on, more films came out, stuff like really bad ones like Billy Jack and Last of the Mohicans, and things that just portrayed people like stoic and no fun whatsoever. I inject a lot of humor into what I do because our people are funny. We have fun, we tell jokes and make fun of one another, tease a lot. And through the years, I've played a lot of different roles. I played the ghost of a black transvestite who jumped out of a window in their underwear carrying high heels in a piece of theater. I played judges. I played God twice. I played Gabriel the Archangel. I played judges. I played doctors, played lawyers, played more police officers than I could think of. New York cops, Midwestern police officers, things like that. So, and judges in Molly's Game, which was just a year or so ago, 2 years ago, I believe. Time flies so fast.
Yeah, that's a great film. I like that film.
Yeah. But to walk in the courtroom and sit down at the bench, and this is my world now. So I'm sitting there staring at the desk and looking around, and the director come over and he said, "Graham, is there something wrong?" And I said, No, I've just never seen the bench from the side before. He took it all serious and went, "Oh, well, it's like any other." I said, "I'm just kidding." I'm like, "Oh, I get it. Yeah. So some people don't get my style of humor, others do, but I'll always inject something, especially if in dark full, there's increments and little specks of humor plastered all the way through it, because you can't feed people a steady meal of pain and misery that all these people are going through without giving them some kind of a vent or a release valve to it. They can just blow off a little bit of that tension and build it back up again and just move them forward again in that horror story without them with any trepidation or doubt."
Now you mentioned four-legged creatures. Are you not a fan of riding horses, or did Dances with Wolves totally turn you off to riding horses after that?
Well, I've never ridden bareback. I've ridden saddle, but I had to learn to ride bareback, and it was fun. When I got used to it, they got me one horse. We used to call him Chester the Molester. He was a big roan, and he had a spine about 3 inches high. And he'd run wherever he felt like running. He didn't. You couldn't really control him too well. So we were out in the arena riding around and practicing, and he started to take off. He ran towards the fence. So I pulled the lines over one way to the right, and I leaned to the right, and the son of a gun, he turned to the left, and I went right over onto one of those big 8-foot high corral fences.
Oh.
So I'm hanging there like a prize turkey in a butcher shop window off this fence, and I get off, and they pried me out there. And Kevin says, "You want to take a break?" And I said, "No." "Where's the horse?" I said, "Geez, I hit my head. I can't see very well." So I had a handful of oats, and I'm walking around looking for the horse because there's dust and dirt and stuff in my eyes. And he goes, he threw you and he blinded you with dirt and dust, and now you want to feed him some oats?" And I said, "No, I'm just looking for his head so I can beat the hell out of him."
That damn horse.
Yeah. No, it was good, but I'm getting a little too old. My back is not as spry as I am. I'm almost 70 years old. Next year I'll be 70. So I just, no more horses. Motorcycles, maybe you have more control.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a brain.
My husband and I are big fans of yours, and I was telling him I'm going to interview Graham Greene. We've been watching you for a long, long time, and I really appreciate your time, taking your time and talking to me.
Okay, well, you've been watching me since you were a little girl, right?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Okay,
well, thank you so much. It's been an honor.
Thank you very much, and have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye. Take care of yourself.
I will.
Bye.